Started at the age of 9 when I was in primary 3. At night, he called me to study that I should come. Then I said I must lie down. And sometimes he would tell me that I should remove my clothes. If I don't do it, he beat me. Then after that, he still does this thing with me. Then he will tell me to go to my room. I should sleep back.
That was 15-year-old Adeyinka narrating her ordeal at Light of Hope Orphanage, Tunde Sembanjo Crescent, Akute, where young girls live in perpetual fear of being the next victim of sexual abuse by the owner of the orphanage, whose name is given as Olatayo Atunde. She also said that another resident of the orphanage, 13-year-old Motunrayo, is also one of the victims.
She said she was not feeling too well, so she went to tell daddy that she was not feeling too well. Then after that, daddy now started touching her breast. Then daddy kissed her, something like that.
The sexual assault became so intense that Adeyinka and some other victims decided to come up with plans to put an end to their nightmare.
Yes, we to plan that we should also go to your study, we should poison him, all those type of things, but I see to that it's not good.
Respite later came their way when the authority in the school Adeyinka attends blew open the unwholesome practice.
We discovered that there was trickle of blood, and she was treated and cancelled. And that was the first time we discovered that some of the females that come from that orphanage are suffering sexual abuse.
We received the report, and like law-abiding citizens, we reported it to the police. And the police at Zone 2, from Zone 2, conducted their own investigations, subjected the children to medical examination. It was found out that the kids had been defiled. Not only were they defiled, they had some pelvic diseases, and concluded that Pastor Atunde had a case to answer.
Some former residents and workers at the Light of Hope Orphanage who corroborated the claims of the victims believe that there is more to the incessant sexual abuse than meets the eye.
He slept with even 7-year-olds. Girls in that age bracket were not safe. He has diabolical motives.
They should be want to eat. I told Pastor Day after the meeting we had, I said, Daddy, I've been hearing it and I think you are a court member. He said, what? You call me court member? I said, no, I didn't call you court member. That's what I've been hearing.
I felt like, how can a man like this just be sleeping with these young girls? That there must be a reason for it, because he has his own wife.
The administrator of the home, who incidentally is the daughter of the accused, said the orphanage has had several image challenges but has been able to scale over all of them.
We trust God to help us with everything we do here, including the image of the home.
The question is, what is going on? Are there vested interest in this case? Why should victims of a crime be returned to the crime site? Why should the Ogun State Government, especially the Ministry of Women Affairs, say children below the age of 18 signed an undertaking that they want to go back?
I was thinking maybe daddy was already bribing them, because every time when I used to talk to the women affairs, they would say that, is this thing true? How true is it? Then, like, if they need to believe me. Then since that time I need to talk again.
The children were in our shelter for 2 weeks. At the end of the day, the Ogun State Government, via an official letter dated, if I'm not mistaken, April 16, asked Project Alert to release the children to the state government. It's exactly about 2 weeks after that meeting, the journalist from Punch, who's been following up on this case, gave me a call one day asking me, Mrs. Chukuma, are you aware that the children are back in the orphanage? And for a second, I was short of words.
The rationale behind returning the traumatized victims of sexual abuse to the scene where the crime was committed has continued to be challenged by Project Alert. But the Ogun State Commissioner for Women Affairs, Elizabeth Shonubi, has her reasons for the action taken.
We accommodated them in our own government's own home, called Stella Obasanjo Home. We realized that the children are not comfortable there. They were reported attempting to escape from the home. And after talking to them, counseling them, and they prefer to go back to that home. So what we did was to return them back to that home, temporarily for them to sit for the exam. That was the initial plan, but our social worker will be monitoring you, and that's what we do as I speak.
One of the victims, Adeyinka, however, has this to say.
Every time when I used to talk to the women affairs, they would say that, is this thing true? How true is it? Then, as if they need to believe me. Then since that time, I need to talk again.
Meanwhile, Project Alert, a non-governmental organization whose focus is on oppressed women and children, is raising another issue, and that is on the whereabouts of Olatayo Samuel Atunde, the owner of the Light of Hope Orphanage, accused of sexually molesting the girls in his care.
I was also shocked to read in the papers that on further investigation by the Punch journalist, she found out that he had been granted bail. Who granted him bail? When was the bail granted?
From us, I said the Attorney General is the chairman of the panel of inquiry. So the Ministry of Justice also following up with the case. And to us, we have nothing to do with that. What we're after is the welfare of these children.
It appears that the last has not been heard of this issue. But as it unfolds, Newsline will keep you abreast of the happenings.
Why is it that it seems that there seems to be a stumbling block to justice for these young children? What message are we sending out to other children? That it is all right to be defiled, that it's all right to be abused,